It's our weekly conversation with Milwaukee Admirals head coach Karl Taylor. Karl, it was 13 games between 13 days between games for the Chicago Wolves this last weekend, beating Rockford in a pair of games. It didn't seem like the time away phased the Wolves too much.
Well, no, but it's you got to be really flexible. Like in this COVID season, lots of NHL teams, lots of other leagues are dealing with COVID coming into finding a way into different environments, and it's a very challenging virus that everyone's trying to deal with. And it shut us down, and each day we had to see how we're gonna proceed. But we were able to get a couple wins out of it, and how they handled the situation and treated it very professionally, and still expected a good performance out of themselves and our team when we had those two games.
We have talked so much the last 2 years when I think about it, but even more so now about Tanner Jeanneau. And I haven't seen him play on a nightly basis, obviously, with 7 goals, 10 assists in 10 games. The 30% shooting percentage. It reminds me a lot, just looking at the stats, it reminds me so much of what Yakov Trenin did last year in Milwaukee, where he had that 28% shooting percentage and really flexed his muscle to become a full-time NHLer.
Yeah, there's absolutely no question that Tanner Jeanneau is a big part of this team here. He is in the leadership group. I know Ryan, the head coach here, he is committed that he's probably our de facto captain, and he's doing everything. He's just a very fit professional young man, like we've always said. He's been given more opportunity. He's taken advantage of it. And he definitely looks like a man among boys. There's still lots to learn and lots to get better at, but he's definitely sending a message to anyone in pro hockey that he's ready for the NHL and he's demanding an opportunity. So very proud of him and what he's doing. And that's something we talk to players about is you can wait for your opportunity or you can demand it. And Tanner right now is demanding it. So that's a great thing to see. And it's just every day it gets better and better for Tanner. We're really excited to see such a fine young man answer the challenge and deal with everything and be in a situation to demand an opportunity. I love it.
I remember a few years ago, Ron Hextall was quoted, and I'm paraphrasing, but it was the gist of, I've never seen a player get worse in the American Hockey League, that it's not a bad place to be when you're coming up. But it begs the question, can players be too good for the league that they're in?
Well, I think that is never the concern because teams are going to adjust. Teams are going to make it harder on elite players, and there's always a home for great players. So, can they be too good or overripe or what have you? There is a point where people demand opportunities. There's no question, and we see that with Eli Tolvanen right now. He's doing a great job in the NHL, and he put in a solid 2 years in Milwaukee. He did everything that was asked of him. But it was time for him to get the opportunity, and he's gotten it and he's ran with it. So good for him. I think for any player who is assigned to the American League, sometimes it takes a little while for them to get back to normal because their disappointment or what have you. There's a little dip. I think in the situation, there is always room for growth, especially this year where we have so much practice time. The players can work on skills and their own personal development. Because there's players in the National Hockey League that are very good, and each and every day they're still trying to get better. So I think a few years ago, someone was talking about Sidney Crosby. His face-off percentage wasn't good. So he dug in on that and made that something of a mission. He's one of the best players in the world. So there's always room to get better. And I think the American Hockey League, like Ron Hextall said, is a great place to develop, great place to learn. And if you are on the cusp, and if you are a really good player, it's a great place to build your confidence. So that when you do get the opportunity, you're not just ready for the chance, you're ready to go and play.
You mentioned Eli Tolvanen, and I real quick, and it's not necessarily specifically about him, but I just saw some advanced stats, the goals per 60 and all the metrics that are out there. And he ranks top 3 in basically every category, blocks, everything. He ranks top 3 in nearly every category among rookies in the NHL. And I'm curious with the double staff, so to speak, with Carolina and Nashville having their affiliates there, do you guys spend more time working on or talking about advanced stats? Has that been something you've added even more this year?
Well, I think we always use certain things, and it depends on how your team is playing. If you look at Carolina and how their team plays, they're a speed. They defend very well. They attack. They pressure the puck everywhere. So there's stats that might say when they enter the zone with possession at this rate, they always win.
Right.
And so for a team that is place the puck in and forecheck team, that wouldn't correlate for that team because of how the team plays. So I think the stats are very important, but I think they all have to be based on what individual you're talking about, but also how the team plays. So each team is going to have different hot points. So yeah, we talk about a lot of issues and a lot of different things. I think for just off on a tangent about Tolvanen, the fact that he's leading hits and blocks and all the other areas without the puck, I got to be honest, our staff in Milwaukee is very proud of that.
Oh, yes.
Very excited about that because that was something we were trying to assist him with and get him to build his game out from the inside so that he can extend his stay. And I've said this for years, you have to find a way to stay longer so that your skills can catch up with the opportunity you're presented with. So I haven't seen the metrics you just looked at, but I think that's outstanding. I love that. And that's a great stat for Tolvi. As far as what we're doing, we're collaborating with the Carolina guys. We are looking at everything we can. And it's more of a development year here. Yes, we want to win, but we're trying to help each and every player develop their game and become a better player so that they'll have a brighter future and a longer career.
Devin Cooley played his first game in the American Hockey League in the last win. Connor Ingram is there in Chicago. Do we expect either of them to play in the next week or so?
Yeah, you know what? We're going through the process. I think I don't know the whole management decision on which goalies play and how we take our turns here, all those things. I think we're supposed to rotate the opportunities, so we'll see how that plays out. When Ingo is back, he is on protocol right now, so when he comes back from that, then he'll be eligible. But it's a strict protocol. This is a real tough virus that everyone's dealing with. Obviously, our team got shut down for a while, and we had some different challenges. We had some games canceled, and so we had multiple people involved with that. Connor was one of those people that's on the protocol, and for those players to come back, there's heart testing, there's a long protocol. They don't just instantly get back into a game. So we're all anxious to get Connor into a game. We all want to see him get back up and running. Unfortunately, he got a little sidestep with the protocol, but he'll be back in the net as soon as we can get him there.
That's great. This week, the next game is Grand Rapids. You haven't seen them in a month, more than a month, February 28th. So I guess exactly a month. That's a battle going on for first place in the division there, the top two teams. I'm curious if you can give us any insight. We've heard the talk that maybe there's going to be divisional playoffs, maybe not. Do you have any more insight on that at all, or?
I don't know what the final verdict will be. I know there's some discussions about things. I do believe they're trying to conclude the season by the end of May. So whatever they come up with, I think that's part of the focus and trying to make the timelines work. I have heard that each division can do their own processing there. So if, whatever the one division wants to have some sort of playoffs and another one doesn't, I think the American League is open to that. But that's just scuttlebutt that I've heard behind the scenes.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how that's going to play out for us. I'm sure they'll cross that bridge and announce that about what's going to happen. But yeah, we play Grand Rapids tomorrow, 2:00. They're a very good team. There are lots of players back from previous season, so they'll give us our hands full. And I know Benny's going to have those guys ready to come after us. And yeah, we are in first place in the division, and usually when that happens, you usually see a lot of A games from the teams you're playing. So we expect their best, and we expect the best out of us.
Very good. Karl, good to see you. Thanks for the time.
Thank you, Aaron. Have a great day.
That's Milwaukee Admirals head coach Karl Taylor.